Could it be true? Could the very bedrock of the Toronto Maple Leafs defense, a cornerstone for over a decade, be on the verge of being ripped away in a move so audacious, so utterly unexpected, that it would send shockwaves through the entire National Hockey League? Or is this just another tantalizing mirage in the desert of the NHL offseason, a whisper of a possibility that, while captivating, is ultimately too fantastical to materialize? Welcome, hockey fanatics, to an exclusive deep dive into the most audacious trade proposal currently swirling through the rumor mill, a deal that could fundamentally reshape the Toronto Maple Leafs and accelerate the Anaheim Ducks' ascent. We're talking about a potential swap that would see Morgan Rielly, the Leafs' longest-tenured and most prolific offensive defenseman, traded for Mason McTAVISH, the Ducks' burgeoning young center. It's a concept that, on its surface, feels like something straight out of a video game, a high-stakes gamble that could either propel one franchise into a new era of contention or leave another scrambling to pick up the pieces. Is this the kind of bold, transformative move that GM Brad Treliving is prepared to make? Or is it merely a fascinating thought experiment born from the relentless churn of the rumor cycle? The proposal, recently floated by Heavy.com, is more than just a player swap. It's a strategic reshuffling of assets, a philosophical pivot that speaks volumes about where both organizations might be headed. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, this isn't just about acquiring a talented young forward. It's about a potential DNA change, as some might call it. It's about shedding a significant salary, injecting youth into their top six forward group, and perhaps finally moving on from a defensive core that, despite its individual brilliance, has consistently fallen short of ultimate glory. For the Anaheim Ducks, it's about accelerating their rebuild, adding a proven high-impact veteran to their blue line, and signaling to the league that their competitive window is opening and they mean business. Let's first unpack the audacious proposition from the Toronto Maple Leafs' vantage point. Why, after all these years, would general manager Brad Treliving even entertain the idea of moving Morgan Rielly? Rielly, with his silky smooth skating, elite puck-moving ability, and offensive instincts, has been the quarterback of the Leafs' power play and a consistent point producer from the back end for what feels like an eternity. He's the kind of defenseman who can turn a breakout pass into an instant rush, who can walk the line with confidence, and who consistently racks up assists. But here's the cold, hard truth of the salary cap era. Rielly carries a significant cap hit of $7.5 million AAV, a figure he's locked into until the 2029-30 season. For a team perpetually dancing on the edge of the cap ceiling, every dollar counts, and every long-term commitment is scrutinized. The underlying question for Treliving and the Leafs front office might be, is Rielly's offensive production from the blue line, coupled with his defensive liabilities, the right long-term fit for a team desperate to push deeper into the postseason? The allure of Mason McTavish then becomes immediately apparent. At just 22 years old, McTavish is a budding young center who is coming off a highly impressive 52-point season. He brings a blend of skill, physicality, and a relentless drive to the net that is exactly what the Leafs need. Imagine him slotting into the top six forward group, injecting a serious boost of scoring power. With Mitch Marner having departed for the Vegas Golden Knights, the Leafs are looking to replace a significant chunk of offense, and McTavish could be a perfect fit. He's a natural center, meaning he could potentially become the team's future second-line pivot, learning under the tutelage of a seasoned veteran like John Tavares. The idea of McTavish growing within the Leaf system, evolving into a foundational piece for years to come, is undeniably enticing. It's a move that screams youth movement, a commitment to building a younger, faster, and perhaps more unpredictable core. This isn't just about replacing Marner's points. It's about a strategic shift, a re-evaluation of the team's offensive identity and its long-term trajectory. However, the path to acquiring McTavish by trading Rielly is fraught with immediate challenges for Toronto. The most glaring one? Replacing Rielly's unique offensive contributions from the blue line. While the Leafs boast plenty of defensive depth, they explicitly desire more scoring from their defensemen. Removing Rielly without a clear backup plan for that offensive spark from the back end could feel counterproductive. It's a bold move. Yes, but is it the right bold move? The philosophical debate within the organization would be intense. Are they truly comfortable getting younger across the board, embracing the inherent unpredictability that comes with youth, even as they strive to compete for a Stanley Cup immediately? History has shown that youth, while exciting, can be inconsistent, especially in the crucible of the NHL playoffs. This trade would represent a significant gamble on the future, potentially at the expense of present stability. Now let's shift our focus to the other side of this intriguing coin, the Anaheim Ducks. From their perspective, acquiring Morgan really would be a monumental step forward in their ongoing rebuild. The Ducks have been patiently accumulating young talent, building a promising core, and now they appear ready to take the next step. Rielly would provide them with a proven top-pairing defenseman, a player who can log heavy minutes, run their power play, and bring a wealth of experience to a relatively young blue line. His offensive prowess would add a completely different element beyond what established defensemen like Jacob Trouba or Radko Gudas provide. He's a dynamic puck mover, a quarterback who can elevate the entire team's transition game. And critically, the Ducks are in a prime position to absorb his $7.5 million AV contract without issue, given their ample cap space. Locking in a player of Rielly's caliber until 2029-30 would provide stability and a veteran presence for years to come, aligning perfectly with their emerging competitive window. But for the Ducks, the sacrifice would be immense. Parting with Mason McTAVISH, a foundational piece of their future, and a restricted free agent, RFA, who is still unsigned, would be a gut-wrenching decision. McTAVISH is not just a prospect, he's a proven NHL contributor with immense upside, a player who embodies the future of the franchise. For Anaheim to even consider this trade, they would need to have an unwavering belief that Rielly's immediate impact and long-term fit outweigh the potential of McTAVISH. They would need to be convinced that Rielly's prime years align perfectly with their competitive window, and that his presence elevates them significantly more than McTavish's continued development. It's a high-stakes calculation, a weighing of present impact against future potential, and it's a decision that could define the Ducks' trajectory for years. This brings us to the most significant hurdles, the cold dose of reality that makes this fascinating trade idea feel like a considerable stretch. The first, and perhaps most insurmountable, obstacle is Morgan Rielly's no-movement clause and MC. Rielly has earned the right to dictate his future, and he would have to be convinced that a move to Anaheim is a good idea, a place where he could cement himself as a key contributor on a team looking to take the next step. While the Ducks are an exciting young team, uprooting his life and leaving a perennial contender in Toronto for a team still building could be a tough sell. His willingness to waive that clause is paramount. Without it, this trade is a non-starter. The second major variable is Anaheim's willingness to part with McTavish. He is an RFA, meaning the Ducks control his rights, and they view him as a core part of their future. For them to let go of such a promising young talent, they would need to be absolutely convinced that Rielly is the missing piece, the veteran presence that immediately transforms their blue line and accelerates their timeline. Both Rielly needing to believe in the Ducks and the Ducks needing to believe in Rielly's impact are critical prerequisites for this deal to even get off the ground. In essence, this proposed trade is a masterclass in what-ifs. It's an interesting idea on the surface, a concept that sparks debate and ignites the imagination. It highlights the constant tension in the NHL between winning now and building for the future, between holding on to beloved veterans and embracing the promise of youth. For the Leafs, it's about a potential philosophical shift, a willingness to sacrifice a known quantity for an exciting, albeit less predictable future. For the Ducks, it's about a bold acceleration, a move to add a proven star at a critical position. But the practicalities, the NMCs, the foundational pieces, and the sheer audacity of the swap mean that while it's a captivating thought, it truly feels like a stretch in reality. The NHL offseason is a breeding ground for such tantalizing possibilities, but only a select few ever truly come to fruition. So, what are your thoughts, hockey faithful? Is this a stroke of genius or a recipe for disaster for either team? Would you be willing to see Morgan really leave Toronto for the promise of Mason McTavish? And for Ducks fans, would you sacrifice a foundational young talent for a proven veteran blue liner? Let us know your opinions, your theories, and your wildest predictions in the comment section below. And if this deep dive into the fascinating, often chaotic world of NHL trade rumors got your heart racing, please hit that like button to show your support and help us bring you more exclusive reports like this. Your engagement fuels our passion for the game.